Do you find it hard to make decisions? Ever so often, we have to make a decisions. We come up with a situation. We have to decide: are we going left or right? Do we want to go up or down? Do we want to take this object or the second? Do we want this service or the next one? What do we want to eat? This or that? The whole idea is making decision is hard. And the more I hear or and listen to entrepreneurs, they always find ways to minimize the number of decisions they have to take. For example, we know, for example, people like Elon Musk or Evan Carmichael, they have a wardrobe. So Evan has his sweater with his plane. Elon Musk has his T-shirt. Even Zuckerberg has his T-shirt. Steve Jobs years ago also had a similar wardrobe. So in the morning, they were not questioning what they were wearing. It is something that was easy for them because making decisions take mental energy. And if you can minimize how many decisions you have to make, then when you are in facing a decision that makes a difference, when you have to think a bit deeper about the repercussion, then you have all your mental energy. And I remember 2 years ago, I had in mind that the only thing I'm going to eat for breakfast was oatmeal. You know what? For about 3 months, that's all I ate for breakfast. It was easy, and I was not questioning it. Nowadays, what do? I get up and say, okay, do I want toast, cereals? Do we want to have, so if I have toast, what will I want on the toast? And so on. So see, finding ways to simplify the decision-making process is important. So today I wanted to go and get some shirts, and I said, okay, I'm going to go to the store, but then stores sometimes lately it is quite expensive. So I said, maybe I could go to Goodwill and get secondhand shirts. And that's what I did. And in some ways there was tons of shirts and I couldn't figure out which one to take. And I enjoyed the time. It was at the end of the afternoon. I had worked all morning. And then I was thinking about how making a decision as simple as which clothes should I wear, should I get, so that I can wear for work, that I can wear after school, I can wear over the weekend. And it was not easy. And I was thinking about how there's some places in my mind. For example, at work, when I go to class, I know what the process is. I share with the class what the plan is. We go to the first part of the lesson. They have personal work time. We also have a break, and then the second half of the class. So the schedule is all set, and then I work my lessons within the process of those classes. In the morning, I have on Saturdays my live about science, and it's easy. I get up in the morning, I have a coffee, and I relax. And I know that usually by 8:30, I come to my computer. I work for about an hour to gather the information I'd like to share. And then I have my live from 10 to 11, and it works very well. And that's why I am using, it's called StreamYard. And there was a time I was using another software for live shows and also recording on my computer. But then I realized that with StreamYard, it was easy because it was simplifying the decisions I had to make. So that's when I was able to be more consistent with my videos. So the question for you is as well, I'm not a teacher and I'm not making lives on YouTube. So why would decision making be important for us? Well, let's review why we make decisions. Usually we make decisions because there's a few things. We are seeking pleasure, we're seeking enjoyment of life, and we're trying to get away from pain. That's usually how it works. For example, if at the end of the day, if you need to eat food, you're hungry. So that's the pain part. Now, you're not starving, you're just hungry. So therefore, when you have to start deciding what you want to eat, that could get trickier, especially if you're hungry. So the idea here, okay, I have a situation where I have to decide what to eat, and then I have to make decisions. I have a lot of respect for people that have meal plans. They sit on Sunday, they make the list of everything they're going to eat during the week. They make a list of everything they need to buy at the grocery store for that. And the process is so easy. And actually, that's something I should try to look into. Anyway, the idea is we're trying to get a place where we have more pleasure in life, it's more fun, it's easier, and we want to go away from pain. The other thing, though, is that we are aiming for growth as humans. And as I was shopping for clothes, I was looking and saying, okay, I need new clothes. That was a pain point. How painful it was? Well, it was pain. The pain was big enough for me to say, okay, I need today to get shirts. So I got the shirts. I was able to get about 6 shirts for the price of one brand new one. And I give a little bit more money because goodwill does a great thing for society. So let's get back. We're aiming for growth, but we have to make decisions. But the way we make decisions is important. And then as I was driving back, I was looking at how when we make decisions, we can have short-term gains. So for the short term, we get happier. And in the short term, we get away from pain. But there's also another way where when you make decisions, you are making a decision where you have long-term pleasure and happiness. And then you are moving away, you're making decisions for long-term distancing of a pain point. So the question is, okay, there's pain and gain, there's short-term effect of decisions and long-term. And the whole question is, how do you juggle for all of those so that you can make a life that is easier? And my first thing I could think of is, okay, when you make short-term decisions and when there's a pain point, first of all, you need to make sure that you're safe. So if something is happening, you have to make a quick decisions to make sure that your life is safe and people around you are safe. This is the science teacher in me. Safety is always the first thing. Next, sometimes you could say, well, I would like to have an ice cream cone. That's a short-term decision for a short-term pleasure. You eat an ice cream cone and you feel great. On the other hand, an ice cream cone is great, but if you have one ice cream cone every day because you feel you need the pleasure of an ice cream cone every day, it may be a short-term goal and a short-term decision for that goal, but it doesn't have the best long-term outcome. Because if you eat ice cream every day, even if sometimes it's not needed or sometimes you get an ice cream cone too big, then it's not good for your health. So here's an example where you make a short-term decision, but in the long term, it is not good for your health. So you have to say, okay, if I want my life to be easier, to be simpler, when I get to a pain point, and when I say pain point, it's something where you don't like, something that is an irritant, you need to find a way that if a short-term decision works, you go for it. But sometimes you have to make the decisions so that even though it may not be the easiest at that time, it has a long-term vision for that decision. So for example, so if you go, yesterday I had an ice cream cone and that's why I mentioned that. And interestingly enough, the most delicious bites of the ice cream cone are actually the first 5. And then, so what I did is I did not finish the ice cream cone. The reason for that is I was able to get my short-term pleasure, a short-term decision. But I do also have a long-term goal, which is trying to be more fit and take care of my health. So that's when you have to look into decision making with a goal in mind. I've mentioned many times that I'm aiming to get a video a day on my YouTube channel. So I'm looking for consistency. And I'm going to put a card here. Actually, I'm going to put my video about consistency at the end of this one. But the idea here is you want to be consistent with what you do for your goals, but you also have to be consistent in the way you make decisions for all of your goals. So that means that I have, when I go to the gym, I have people that say, oh, you can have a cheat day on the Sunday. So that means you can eat anything you want, and it is okay. On the other hand, I have a friend, and what he says is that there's not really a cheat day. So he eats well, follows his plan all week, but on a Sunday, instead of eating anything, because it's a cheat day, what he does is that he does add the few things that he loves the most. He loves strawberries, and therefore he finds a way to find strawberries. He does, what is the other one? He loves steaks. So during the week, he's got his meal plan. So over the weekend, on the Sunday, he eats a great steak. So what happened is it may have a little bit more fat in it. On the other hand, it is good food. So his perspective is, even though you think it's a cheat day, you have to say that it is. I don't remember the name he uses, but the decision is that you are using that day to make it better for you, and you can make great choice for what's best for you. So I know I've been talking about decision making because in some ways that's part of what I work on right now. And interestingly enough, tomorrow is my 100th video since January 1st, and I still don't know what the topic will be, but it will be on the idea that consistency is key to achieve your goal, and you have to make decisions to make sure that you achieve that. So that is what I believe. So I'm going to put here a video right here. I want to see you in the next one about consistency because it's important. I'm very happy to see you here every day. And on this, be great, do great things, and be consistent in your decision making to make your life and the world a better place. On this, I'll see you in the next video.